Thank you. I wanted to take just a few minutes and update you. We've got some really exciting developments with our foundation this past year, and I think it's worth taking a couple of minutes and just making sure our members understand and are aware of the things that are being done. I suppose the first question to address, I don't get it very often, but I do know that people wonder, well, why is the international egg industry involved in setting up and has set up a foundation? Well, first and foremost, and it's not on the screen, it's because it's the right thing to do. We have, as I said in my opening remarks, the most amazing superfood in the egg, and it can make a real difference in global malnutrition and protein deficiency. And so the work that we're doing is aimed at supporting children in areas of protein poverty. But you know, it does some other things because it shows the power of the egg as a superfood to the large players in the development sector. I'm thinking now as big as the Gates Foundation and others. For them to see the difference that the egg can make in the battle against protein deficiency and malnutrition. The other thing it does, as much as we do it, and it is the right thing to do, and we do it because it is the right thing to do, it demonstrates the commitment, the engagement, the dedication of our industry to contribute back to society and help make the world a better place. And you should never underestimate, you all have your own brands, those of you that have brands, and you can never underestimate the power of the egg as a brand as well. And the image of our industry and the image of the people in that industry is, to me, of paramount importance. It'll also create a more positive global image for our industry with leading international decision makers. And we were talking earlier, and we'll talk later today, we'll talk tomorrow, about the work on avian influenza, laying hen standards for welfare, Consumer Goods Forum, and the challenges they are dealing with around sustainability. It also elevates our industry in the eyes of those global players. And by extension, it will do the same with consumers. And I personally want to use all of the things that we do to help elevate the industry and help make the world a better place, and the egg can do that, and you can do that. And I invite everybody to be committed to and part of that opportunity. But you know what? I also believe it's going to be good for business, for all of our businesses. Bit of a timeline for those not as familiar with the foundation. We established this in 2014. It's a UK-based charity. We launched our first project in Swaziland, Africa, supporting Project Canaan, and I'm going to talk to you about that in just a moment. The first eggs that were produced, hard-cooked eggs, being distributed, started in 2016, and then we established the foundation that year also in the US. And then we've got an initiative to extend the shelf life of boiled eggs. We did a little event in Swaziland when we first launched this, and I was really pleased that we had a number of people there. But one of our past chairmen, Frank Pace, was there. And back when Frank was chair, he really coined this idea of farmers' care. And so that was a real part of the inspiration as well. Another past chair, Cesar de Anda, was really passionate about this idea that we should create a foundation. And so I thank both of you for the drive and the inspiration and the thinking behind this whole concept. All right. So our project in Swaziland. I also want to thank Fabian de Meester. So we're hard cooking eggs, and I'll talk about how many, and distributing them to orphans in Swaziland. The challenge there is we don't have refrigeration. And so in order to distribute these eggs to a network of 30 churches and schools without refrigeration was a real challenge, and we were having spoilage with eggs after about 4 or 5 days. Fabian gave us some very, very simple but brilliant science that will allow us to extend the shelf life. And Sonovo is the company that provided the cooking equipment for us to hard cook the eggs, and they've also committed to provide chilling equipment that will enable us to cool the eggs quicker using Fabian's technology and hold the eggs much longer, which is a huge, huge advancement for this project. And what a difference this project is making. This number is already out of date. At the time of preparing this presentation, there's 181 children on the orphanage, on the site. Now there's 183, and about every 11 days there's another child. So your eggs are being used, the eggs produced there that you have supported the development of, is providing those children with nutritious meals. But you know, it also supports the entire community. Each person, there's 280 people that work on the farm in Swaziland. Each one of those persons supports, on average, 13 other people. So we're reaching literally thousands of people with the power of the humble egg. Every single day out of that barn, 2 barns, 2,500 birds in each, 4,500 hard-cooked eggs are distributed. And for those that don't know, many of you do because you've heard this before, over 40% of the adult population in Swaziland is HIV/AIDS positive. There are 250,000 orphans. And when we go to these feeding stations, 30 of them at churches and schools all around Swaziland, kids are literally coming out of the bush to get fed. So it's an amazing difference that this project is making. And to date, we have fed over 3 million meals to children of that country just in the past 2 years. So this project, thanks to generosity of people in this room, has been absolutely a phenomenal success for us. But you know that we're not done. That was the first project. We're now involved, and it's a Center Fresh group. I think Jim Dean is in the room. Bruce Doyema has been actively involved, and they've started a project to produce eggs in Mozambique, and with it is associated an agricultural college, a school that the International Egg Foundation is proud to support. And what that is going to do is allow these students to learn how to produce eggs, and they'll be involved in a farm that we will help support. But from that, they will keep 50% of the money they earn, so that will give them a leg up to start their own small-scale egg business upon completion of their training. So it's a 2-year hands-on training and demonstration program for small-scale egg units. It's not village poultry, it's not the orphanage, it's kind of small-scale commercial poultry is the objective. We're involved in another project. Incredible lady in Uganda has started a very small-scale village poultry project that the International Foundation is also contributing to. To date, it's supporting about 350 children and over 100 families. Very simple concept. They are given a few hens and a rooster, and they're given some training and teaching on how to look after those birds. They can either consume the eggs within their families, their extended families, they could sell them, they could barter them for other things that they need. But it's a very, very simple grassroots program that's having an impact, not a big number, but over 1,000 people a year. On the Ebenezer School idea, we're looking at this model being something that could be replicated. So we've got, again, working with Mozambique Center Fresh Eggs and Bruce Doyema's group, looking at whether we are able to set up additional agricultural college schools to teach how to produce eggs in Zambia and Zimbabwe. And our goal is by 2022 to have reached 300,000 children in 30 countries in 3 years. It's a lofty goal, a lofty ambition, but I think with the support of people in this room, your commitment, we can make that happen. So an idea we talked about in the trustees is just something an idea, a seed to plant for you to think about. If we're going to reach 300,000 kids with the protein of eggs in 30 countries and 3 continents and do it in 3 years. We're looking to reach out to 10 companies, could be individuals, to invest some time, your leadership, your networks, your business networks, and financial contribution. We're looking to find people that will invest roughly 10,000 pounds a year for 3 years. And I think I can state very clearly from what we've delivered in Swaziland, not just envisioned but delivered, what's happening in Mozambique, what's happening in Uganda, we can make a difference. And it will develop our industry globally. It will enhance the image of our industry. I think that even if people wanted you, I view it very personally as the right thing to do to be involved. But even if somebody wanted to view it as a more of a business perspective, as we help these areas of the world develop and grow, where there is no egg production today, that will provide growth and commercial opportunity for our business leaders in this room. So not only are we going to do good by doing the right thing, I believe playing a role in society is good for business, because that is what society expects from each and every one of us. So I'd encourage you to think about that, talk to either myself or Julian if you want more information. So with that, I've gone a minute over my time. I apologize for that. Thank you for your kind attention, and thank you for those that are supporting the International Egg Foundation. It's much appreciated.